Well, Bigora, I'm back. Bloody hell. You didn't expect that, did you? Um, right, this is something which started last weekend. This is I was contacted on um, Facebook, or I contacted someone. I can't remember. Anyway, um, I can't even remember how it all kicked off. That's shocking. It's a little week ago. It's a friend of mine down in Southend named Kelly Marie, and there's been the issue of a parking ticket. Now, Dave Witcher has done a lot of work on this, which I'm very grateful for. And after the initial confrontation with the bailiffs and his intervention and others, um, the bailiffs had gone away. However, she's now received an email from the council. I think I have the whole thing off. I've just printed it off. Now, this is Southend Council, so feel free to Google them and find out about them and contact them and tell them they're a bunch of Nazi bastards, basically. So she's contacted them about the bailiffs coming round. This is Newlyn, funnily enough, who Huntingdonshire District Council also employ, who, as I have discovered, break any law going, basically, to suit themselves. The enforcement agent is acting on behalf of Southend-on-Sea Borough Council. And in brackets, interestingly, they've put the council, which I think is something to do with that establishes them as a firm, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff going on about that because they're actually a private firm, they're not a public service. To recover debts accrued from penalty charge notices issued to your mother's vehicle having the registration number. The regulatory process as to the administration of PCNs has been adhered to throughout, resulting in the issue of a valid warrant of execution from the court authorising collection of the owed sums. Now, I seriously question these. When the bailiffs come round, they'll say they have a warrant of execution. I seriously question this because, as in cases of council tax, you can go to the court, but the magistrate won't listen to a fucking word you say. There's no defence to be offered because they just go, you must pay your council tax. And that's it. So it's a kangaroo court, basically. And I rather suspect it's the same with these. So these warrants of executions, however legal they may look, are basically just made up. Really, that's the best way I can think of phrasing it. The PCN issued to your mother, and her mother, by the way, is seriously ill, which is another thing that Newlyn doesn't care about. Between March and August. So then I've done a couple of bullet points. The entire event was amicable throughout. Yes, apparently they locked her in the kitchen and then wouldn't leave and then demanded £400 or something. So this is a case with the mother being ill. This is a case of being a vulnerable debtor. A vulnerable person, rather, who the bailiffs aren't supposed to touch. So they've now been told that. The status of vulnerable debtor does not invalidate a warrant of execution, and the authority is not required to take back control of the debt from the enforcement agents. So that's exactly what I've just said before. What they're saying is they're just going to plough on regardless. They don't give a flying fuck about what laws they break, to be honest. As a reputable company, Newlyn provide a vulnerability team. Sorry for the seriousness. I can't help laughing. Who are specially trained. I've said to her, if they come back, because this looks like, because they're saying at the end, the progression of the debt recovery will now be managed by the vulnerability team. So Dave Witcher, I'll tag you in this. Feel free to intervene with any advice you may have, etc. and so forth. So they're just going to plough ahead. And I said to her before, I was messaging her, I said, you'll get the same two blokes back and they'll have done like their vulnerability training course in the last 2 days. And that's what will happen. That's the way it'll work out. They'll have been told not to batter people over the head, basically. And that'll be their vulnerability course. And that's the way these people work, sadly. Right, so can I possibly... I'm going down there myself next week. But I think this video should be possibly a warning shot, and see if we can have people standing to, as they say in the forces, and just be aware that this council are determined to collect their £400 and £500 for one parking ticket, obviously. I honestly, as I've said in my own videos, they've sent me, okay, my case is slightly different, but they've sent me a summons for this committal hearing, and they've charged £300 for that. Now, it doesn't matter how much money you have, does it? It doesn't matter if you live in a bloody mansion or whether you're in a council house or whatever. How can they seriously justify putting £300 on a bill just to send you a bit of paper? With most of the time, not even a legible signature, if any signature. And then they go, oh, but this is a legal document. You must pay us. You must pay us. And we've had this again with this is what they call the compliance stage with the council tax. You must comply with the Nazi Council. Big smile. Big smile. Seriously, we need to get rid of these people. We need to scrap these fucking councils. I've been saying it for a while, you know. They're a bunch of fucking Hitleristic SS troops, would be just bullies and cowards, basically. And they sit behind the protection of their little desks in their little offices with their keypad entry into a public building. I mean, for fuck's sake. And then, of course, if all else fails, they get their mates, the police, to back them up, don't they? And the police break the law a bit by facilitating crime committed by the councils. Really, it makes me fucking sick. It does. They're a bunch of fucking arsehole wankers. The only place these kinds of people deserve to be is in prison. Anyway, thanks for watching. Dave, I'll tag you, mate.